31, we'll call this meeting to order, please. We are in public session. We'll get a roll call, please.
Mr. Nevins.
Here.
Mr. Swan.
Here.
Mr. Luke.
Here.
Mr. Sheep. Here. And Mr. Roman is not here today. Check to the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Just a reminder for those members in public in attendance, this is one of two opportunities afforded members of the public to comment on or inquire about agenda items. Members of the public also have an opportunity at the end of this evening's agenda to comment on matters not formally noted on the agenda. We appreciate everyone's cooperation. Does anybody have anything? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening.
You want to mention the email address?
Yes, thank you, Courtney. BOE comments@manans.org, BOE comments@manans.org. Dr. Long, is there anything
Do
there?
we have anybody on the meeting line?
Phone's online.
Thank you, Courtney.
February 13th is our last.
We'll move to approval of minutes. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District accept the minutes of the May 8th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution passes. We'll move on to item 3, business office non-action item warrants. Any questions on those, please? I actually have one. Report number 61. Note 1. Can you explain that, please?
We don't have a 61.
Hang on one second. I'm sorry, I was listening to the claims auditor's report. Number 61, it says note 1. There's no line item or amounts attached to it. It says warrant 61 has been assigned to a disbursement schedule that will appear in June's report. What does that actually mean?
If the warrant isn't going at this meeting, it is going.
Yeah, and a warrant that we had established that we paid, we're gonna pay after tonight's meeting. So it'll be the next 531 accounts payable, that 413, we opened up another warrant. We're putting bills in it, but the bills, that wouldn't be closed before this meeting, so we'll have that the next one.
Fair enough. Thank you. Were there any other questions there? Business office, non-action items, budget transfers of $10,000 and under. Were there questions on this? I have no questions there. Business office, non-action items, appropriation status report. Were there any questions on this, please? No questions there. Business office, go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry.
My question, I guess, just in note of, transfer to school food service fund, how are we looking on, making it to the end of the year?
As far as the cap and the school lunch, I haven't done an update on that, so I will do that for our July meeting. I'll give you a total end of year, and I'll do it from, beginning of the year when we went to full price, so you have all of that.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Business office, non-action items, revenue status reports. Any questions here, please? No questions there. We'll move on to business matters, action items. Item A is treasurer's report. Can I get a resolution on this, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the treasurer's report for the month of May 2023.
Were there any questions on that report? Can I get a second, please?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution passes. Business office action items, reserve transfers, retiree sick and vacation payouts. Can I get a resolution here, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District authorizes any retiree sick and vacation payouts during the 22-23 and 23-24 school year from the employee benefit accrued liability reserves. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Item C is business office action items, reserve transfers for employee benefits and liability reserve. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the authorization of the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District be given to transfer up to $60,000 to the employee benefit accrued liability reserve for the 22-23 school year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution passes. Action items, reserve transfers, TRS reserve, please. A resolution?
Be it resolved that the authorization of the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District be given to transfer up to $55,000 to the TRS reserve for the 22-23 school year.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Item E, reserve transfers, ERS reserve, please. Can I get a resolution?
Be it resolved that the authorization of the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District be given to transfer up to $40,000 to the ERS reserve for the 22-23 school year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution passes. Business office action items, reserve transfers, capital reserve, please. Can I get a resolution?
Be it resolved that the authorization of the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District be given to transfer up to $50,000 to the capital reserve for the 2022-23 school year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution passes. Business office action items, annual acknowledgement of salary agreements. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the 2023-2024 annual acknowledgement of salary agreements for non-instructional and administrative staff.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. That'll bring us up to item G, action items, annual acknowledgement, item H. Action items, contracts for approval.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District hereby approves the following contracts A through F for the 22-23 and 23-24 school years.
Second.
Were there any questions on these contracts? I have just one, and if it's done, it's done, but, this would be for JJ Curran on the gymnasium floor. I've noticed they're putting one coat of finish on the floor. And that's fine. My only question is, the new water-based stuff is not as good and durable, and is that gonna wear out before the year expires?
So I think my own response would be it's a good test year. Remember, last year was the first year the floor was done, so multiple coats were put on it. So I think this will be a good year to judge if one is adequate or not, and something to keep in mind.
Thank you.
I prefer the oil-based, but we're not allowed to do that.
VOCs are illegal in New York now. You can't use them, but that's the good stuff, right? That was the only question I had on the contracts. Anyone else have anything? Is there a second? We did?
We did.
Yes?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution will pass. We'll move on to, item I, NICLAS Municipal Corporation. Can I get this is a resolution also, yes?
So it's a long one.
Oh, hold on, it might just be easier to read on the paper if it's on there.
I have it.
All right, whereas New York General Municipal Law, Article 5G, Section 119O, empowers municipal corporations, districts, Board of Cooperative Educational Services, counties, cities, towns, villages, and districts to enter into, amend, cancel, and terminate agreements for the performance among themselves or one for the other of their respective functions, powers, and duties on a cooperative or contract basis. Whereas the Manans Union Free School District wishes to invest portions of its available investment funds in cooperation with other corporations and or districts pursuant to the NICLAS Municipal Cooperation Agreement amended and restated as of March 28, 2019. Whereas the Manans Union Free School District wishes to assure the safety and liquidity needs of their funds Now therefore it is hereby resolved as follows, that Joanne Moran, Treasurer, Business Manager of the Manans Union Free School District, is hereby authorized to participate in the NICLAS program under the terms of the NICLAS Municipal Agreement amended and restated as of March 28, 2019.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution passes. We'll move on to the capital bond project resolution.
Bond resolution dated June 12, 2023 of the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District authorizing not to exceed $2,360,000 aggregate principal amount of serial general obligation bonds to finance the reconstruction of various school district buildings, facilities, and sites, acquisition of original furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, or appurtenances required for the purpose of which such buildings, facilities, and sites are to be used, and payment of costs incidental thereto at an estimated maximum cost of $2,360,000, levy of tax to the extent necessary in annual installments in payment thereof, the expenditure of such sum for such purpose, and determining other matters in connection therewith.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. What is appurtenances? Stuff, right? It's additional
Google it.
stuff. Isn't that what that means? So things that we need.
Similar to apparatus.
Very good. Action item donations. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District accept the donation as listed on the Manans School PTA at 100 for living off.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Thank the PTA for their support.
Did the books come in yet? That the kids ordered for the visiting author?
I don't believe so.
Okay, just curious.
We'll move on to item L, action item disposals. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education, the Manans Union Free School District, accept the disposals as listed. Middle school ELA books and clock tower tag 00312.
Second.
Were there any questions on this?
The clock tower tag.
The clock tower is the old PA system, that it was the housing, and it had a tag on it because of the value of it, so we have to identify the tag number when we dispose of it.
Got it.
I had one of the ELA books. There's an item highlighted, Joey Pizza. Is it a spelling error? Is that why it's highlighted?
Pizza?
Well,
Why?
it says Joey Pizza. But I know the book is pizza, right? Is it highlighted because it's spelled wrong or?
That's how it was given to us. They met with me and asked me about a couple of books that they were getting ready to get rid of. That was one of them, and they had them highlighted. They probably just didn't remove the highlight fully. They want to know if any other teacher
I just thought it was, because it is pizza, right?
It is pizza,
When I
yep.
tried to pull it up, it says pizza. All right. There's a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. We'll move on.
Are they being donated or are they just not in good shape anymore? And you know,
It depends on the book.
yes.
Some are just not in good shape anymore. Some will be donated. So depending where they're in condition.
Yeah, okay.
Some of them have been used beyond their life.
Well loved.
It's not like the technology books that we got rid of, that talked about that up and coming invention, the web.
The new interweb.
The new interweb.
The web. Love it. We'll move on to the second reading of policies. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District, upon the recommendation of the Policy Committee, approve the first readings following policies A through C as listed. That's,
Second reading of policies, correct?
oh, yeah, sorry,
No, I'm sorry.
second reading. 1,500 public use of school facilities, 6,240 investments, and 6,700 purchasing.
Second.
And we're changing it to second reading of policy, correct?
Yes.
Seconds on the floor. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Thank you again, Policy Committee, for all that work.
And anybody currently using the facilities, Liz Kim gave them a heads up after the first reading that this was coming and should anticipate that.
Is, Sorry, I guess I should have asked before we approved it, but weren't we doing like first and final?
Yeah, second would be the
The
final.
final, okay,
Yep.
so second and final reading.
Yep.
Is that okay with everybody?
Didn't we make our second readings final?
Yeah, just, I feel like we could call it final reading.
That's fine, final
Say
reading. I
second,
think
either
that-
say final reading or say second and final, just so everyone knows that this is passing it. Yeah.
Change it to finals. Everyone agree with that on the board? Yes? Thank you. Thank you, Courtney. We'll move right on to personnel matters, tenure recommendation. Rachel McQuaid, please, can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, grant tenure to Rachel McQuaid, elementary education tenure area effective September 1st, 2023.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Skip over item B. Can I get a tenure recommendation for Henry Tom Schweitzer, please?
I'm sorry, that Henry threw me.
It's
Um,
very few people know.
I didn't know that. Yeah, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, grant tenure to Henry Tom Schweitzer, social studies tenure area effective September 1st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Congratulations. We'll move into the Jewel agreement. Can I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District hereby accepts the terms of and authorizes the superintendent to execute a memorandum of agreement between the district, the Manans Teachers Association, and employee number 1007, providing for the extension of the probationary appointment of employee 1007 in the elementary education tenure area through September 13th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Extended school year principal. We'll need a resolution on this, please.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District appoint Audrey Prank as principal for the extended school year program with no additional remuneration.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. We will move on to personnel agenda. Item E, can I get a resolution there, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approves the personnel agenda items A through N as listed.
Can I get a second on that, please?
Sure. Second.
Were there any questions on this resolution? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That resolution will pass. We'll move on to item F, professional and curriculum development projects. Can I get a resolution here, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve professional and curriculum development projects in the district not to exceed 370 hours in accordance with the MAT contract. All hours will be submitted and approved via timesheets.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Substitute teachers fully cleared. Can we get a resolution there, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the substitute teachers in the attached document for the 22-23 school year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes.
Notice a former
I did
student,
happen to notice
Graduate.
a graduate.
Emily Maslin.
Yep. See if we can get her some work the last day of
We got her
we
lined
got
up.
6 days of school. Outstanding. Unpaid leave absence. Could we get a resolution on this, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the unpaid leave request from Jackie Longo from June 5th, 2023 to June 30th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Superintendent program recommendations, CSE, CPSE recommendations. Can we get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District hereby approves the CSE, CPSE recommendations for the 2022-2023 school year as submitted.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes. Student matters, enrollment updates. Total enrollment for the 2022-2023 school year to date is 291.
And our upcoming enrollments there for your review, so.
Kindergarten's already at 29.
Pre-K already has a wait list.
Wait list on pre-K. Oh, that building project can't come fast enough.
And the change in allocations to pre-K money.
Yes. Take that too.
Wasn't fifth grade 2 sections before, or had that always been 1 section?
Fifth grade has always been 1. Right now, we are anticipating 2 at every grade level next year.
Okay. We'll move into business administrative updates, business manager comments, please.
I'll start with, I met with the O&M staff and the cafeteria staff, and one of the things we're gonna do, we all felt unanimously that they need shirts identifying them as staff members. So in the budgets, we're gonna let the O&M people have a say in what we order, so I don't want somebody wearing something they ate, whether it's material wise, but they'll all be consistent in color. It'll say staff on the back. I think I found when we did the evening here where we had the multicultural festival, it was very hard to distinguish who our staff members were, and I think that would be beneficial to the public. So we're going to do that. I want to remind everybody, we have a new landscape mowing company that's going to begin in July. We are thankful for all that Erno's done, but they were not the successful bid. So that will start in July. We're going to be meeting with them tomorrow, tell them what our expectations are, and start on a new leg on July 1st. What we did earlier today with that class resolution that we did, one of the things that I'm going to work on this year is to make money on our money. We make very little interest on our reserve funds, if we make any, and it's driving me crazy. So part of what we had to do was do that resolution so we were allowed to join class. The first thing we did was the procurement or the investment policy that we did. And then the second piece of it is to approve that resolution. So next year, hopefully we'll be able to make a lot more money on our money. That's important to me. It's driving me crazy actually. And then I'll also say that as part of that, I'll probably be doing an RFP for banking services, but I'll ask the audit committee for assistance with that. I'll give them a role in that. We'll be doing that again. I don't want to diminish our banking benefit, but I also think we should be making more money on our money. The fund balance reserve estimates, we do those historically. You want to do those in June. We leave ourselves quite a window. We don't know what we're going to recommend or what I'm going to recommend to the Board of Education on what we're going to put in our reserves, but that'll be coming as a result of the audit that we'll have, and those recommendations will be made in either late August or early September. But again, dating the resolution in June is what the order I would ideally like. If something were to happen and we wanted to put more then we would ask you to amend that resolution, but I don't think so. I don't think that'll happen. We have an audit committee, the first one since I've been back. That'll be this coming a week from Wednesday. At 5:30. We are going to be talking about the audit. Amy Pedrick from Weston Company will be here. We'll have to do an audit for our peace services next year. They're in extension year right now. So we'll be doing that. The audit committee will have a little bit of work to do next year, but we'll be talking about that in the onset or the beginning of the audit. Our preparatory work is scheduled for next Wednesday and Thursday. So that'll be part of that with the audit committee. And again, one of the other things we're going to be doing here in the next year, we started the process is doing automated requisitioning. I know it seems a very simple thing, but we have a lot of paper that goes through this district. The teacher filling out their requisition, and it goes to somebody else to type it in the system. Well, now we'll be able to take a piece of paper. One person can put it in, or the teacher eventually, but that would cost money. So we're going to keep it a little less expensive. And we'll say Jen, secretary might put in the teacher requisitions. It'll automatically go to the principal for approval. Then it'll automatically electronically go to the superintendent / purchasing agent for approval. And then it will come to the accounts payable person or my office, and we will print it out right into a PO. It should streamline the process, make it much easier and faster for all, less paper going from place to place to place. It's all going to be electronic, and we'll have that up and running, I'm going to hope by September. That's it.
Do we have that programming already in place?
We use a software called Envision. This is just another piece of that. And the cost for it in the start of year is $3,300, and then after that, it's less than $2,000 a year to maintain.
Sounds good. Audit committee meeting, all board members are welcome to come. That's next Wednesday. At
5:30.
Is it at 5:30? And we filled the vacancy.
We did. Mike McKay has rejoined the audit committee.
Excellent. Thank you, Joanne. We'll move on to principal comments, please, Ms. Canavo.
So first up, we have our author visit. James Keller was with us at the end of May. He had an opportunity to present to all of our kids, pre-K through grade 8. And then we had a select group of kids who, everybody in middle school had the opportunity, but joined and did a cookies with the author and had a lunchtime conversation with him regarding one of his books. His books were ordered. Mrs. Southwood is picking them up tomorrow. They have been signed by the author. So that is what took a little bit of time. Was just to get him down there to make sure that they were signed for the kids. So those will go home with the kids later this week. Mrs. Southwood and Mrs. Ford are instrumental in bringing our author each year. They work hard to schedule it. They have lunch with them, make sure they're fed, happy, and any of the particulars that they ask. So it was a great day with the kids for James Keller, and that was on the heels of literacy night that had happened the evening before. That had our Glow Night literacy activities, book fair, and then a variety of activities in the cafeteria, including the Manans Public Library. Our 8th graders spent the day at Camp Ginger Cook recently. They take a day trip. They engage in all kinds of team building activities. It was a nice capstone to their 8th grade year. As some of you may know, we usually do that at the beginning of the year. COVID switched that a little bit for us, but they did have a chance to go this past year. They went with Mr. Schweitzer, Mr. Herman, and Mrs. Stettinger. They went up and spent the day. Really cold up there, but they made it. Came back a little bit colder than when they left, but they had a great time. They grilled some food. I hear some of the kids hung out by the grill, getting warm. But overall, great day. Attendance was fine the next day. Nobody got sick. So
Do they know yet for next year if it's gonna be able to go back to being an overnight, or are we still waiting to hear?
we are pretty sure that it's going to go back to next year, it being the overnight that we've been able to accomplish.
Great.
So this year's 7th grade will be the first class to get back up there, spend the overnight with their advisors, and really hopefully bring the class together as they enter their final year here with us.
It's great.
Field trips, they were back. We gave the green light for field trips, and man, did they come in fast and furious. Thank you to Mrs. Mendel, helping us find all the holes in our system. But we made it. Everybody got to get out. It was really great. We had a couple of classes go to the museum. Mr. Schweitzer had the 7th grade down there, did a STEM Erie Canal building activity. We had a couple of kids out for musical performances. The pre-K one and kindergarten went to the Cohoes City Music Hall to see a show, and so did the 6th grade, the Lightning Thief. We've had a couple of grades up at Thatcher Park for Wild Play, which is a ropes course and all kinds of things like that. And then we had our 3rd graders went down for the egg, and our 2nd graders were over at the Valley Cats game.
Fourth
So
graders were at Maybe Farms. That was a cool one.
oh, maybe Farms went too. They went to the museum. 4th grade has been out all over the place. They've had a couple of great things, but the last one is 1st grade. It was down at the museum. They got invited by the and they went down. Were there for the opening of the carousel. Got to ride. I mean, I think Mrs. Robluski and her class went. We thought it was just a trip to see the carousel. Before we knew it, they had books and ice cream, and were really treated pretty quick on the VIPs. Yeah.
That's great.
So hopefully they'll get back down with their families to see the museum and the carousel. And it was a great day to see the kids back on the carousel. So it was overall a pretty great day. We have a new PTA officer. Karthika Pathori has stepped up to be our secretary. So she will be joining the PTA this summer. So we look forward to her contributions and some of her insights as we plan different events. And then last but not least, it wasn't on there and I apologize, Career Day. We had Career Day for our middle schoolers 5 through 8. We had professionals come in and talk to our kids. The Humane Society was here. We had a welder who was a former student. Talking back with him in 5th grade. We had organ donation specialists here. The Troy Police Department comes with their drone and all those kinds of things. So really a great day. Mrs. Vandenberg helps organize that each year. So the kids, I think, get a lot out of it and hopefully hear about careers that they haven't considered or thought about before. And I will say that was on the field of then going over to the CTE Center and taking a tour of the CTE Center with 7th and 8th grade went as part of Home and Careers to really see the new facility and look at some options. So as they're going ahead, we always say, even if you say no thank you, you have to know what you're saying no thank you to.
You missed field day.
Oh my gosh, I went right over field day. Field day, oh my gosh, so field day, Mrs. Bettinger and Mr. All, they kicked that off for us on Friday. We were a little worried at points of the time if it was gonna be able to occur with the air quality, but everything cleared out. It was a great day. I think we're up to over, you said over 20 stations. I don't even know that the kids got to all the stations. It was really pretty remarkable. And I would say, you know, our PE teachers, it's pretty incredible what they pull out there. Our PTA comes and supports it. I happen to be at a local field day and our kids have an amazing day. So, you know, it's a ton of work. Our maintenance staff helps support them, but it's probably one of the greatest days, and you'll see it on Facebook. Some of our parents that aren't here anymore remember it and spend time. We got quite a few parents here. So overall, great day. Thank you. Sorry I skipped over that.
Thank you for that. Field day was great. I had to leave before the staff 8th grade tug of war.
But we kept it.
I understand staff won.
Like by a lot.
Just want to say they didn't win the basketball game, but I'm glad you were able to pull it out for the end of the year. You bulked up. It's just great out for the,
Apparently it's still
fair enough.
sensitive.
All right, yeah, you couldn't pull anything outside. And I got a notice, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, the PTA is doing a ice cream night tomorrow. Does that sound right?
Yes, and that's 16 handles from 5
Oh, yeah, yeah.
16
on Route 4 near Walmart.
PTA. Great, thank you, Ms. Canavo, I appreciate that. We'll move into superintendent comments, please.
So Jen talked about the field trips, including the carousel opening. I think I sent the link to the board members, the article that was in the Times Union. Also, they managed to pull a book that was out of circulation that allegedly was written by somebody from Anand's. That's the book they read to the kids that day. They donated 4 copies of that book to us, so we will have one for our library and for the classrooms that visited. The commissioner was there. I made it a point to go up and thank her. She did specifically request after her visit to our school earlier this year that our kids be the first kids to ride the carousel.
Great.
So that was pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Committee updates. The Health and Wellness Committee will be meeting Wednesday of this week. Policy Committee, I would like to get together one more time. Before I leave, I will propose a date in the very near future. We're in a pretty good place there, but just want to know what we have to look at moving forward and make sure that is all in place. The Technology Committee has met this year around the strategic planning goal of communications with our families. A pretty comprehensive survey did go out to our families. Response was kind of slow. We were stuck at about 40. And then I took the opportunity through our school messenger system. Typically, we type the messages and send them out via email in text message. I can actually record my own voice and send out a message. We went from 41 to 128 in one day. So I'm going to save that one for important things. I'm going to make sure Jen knows how to do that. So, you know, all the things that we laid out that have been charged to various committees within the district is making forward progress, and those meetings have occurred. Code of conduct is one of the significant policies that our policy committee undertook last year. That actually requires an annual review and opportunity for public comment. So that's really why I want the policy committee to come together, because I want to talk about what we've done, the changes we made, how effective they've been, other things we may want to consider moving forward, and then present it at the July or August meeting, put it out for the 30 days of public comment, so it's back in place for September 1. Graduation, a week from Thursday, 6 o'clock. We would love for all the board members to be there. So if you could just let Liz know if indeed you do plan to be there, or if for some reason you cannot. And the board is typically a part of the procession, and we will have seating for it. Project submission updates. You took the action tonight to allow us the borrowing for the project that was approved by our voters in May. You will recall that we had authorized the architects to do the design work in advance of the vote in anticipation, because that would gain us a summer to do work. So they have that all ready to go. After tonight's meeting, Bill, you have some paperwork to sign. I have some paperwork to sign, and then that project will be submitted to SED. Once we get approval from them, then we can move forward. There was one positive update that came out of the recent conversations. Joanne, can you speak to that?
I can, because we are so far ahead of schedule with the design and how it's being presented and what our turnaround time. They put aside $65,000 for interest expenses. They don't think that we'll need that, so that money will be able to be used in the project.
That's great.
Because anticipation of what the facilities planning's approval date is, and the commissioner's approval date. So keep our fingers crossed. They'll be submitted by the end of the week, and hopefully it'll be a quick turnaround.
more work.
Huge. It was 18 months. That timeline is now
The
bumped
conference
up.
I was at last week, they said they were not 18 months out. They were still again 14 to 16 weeks, but I think we are
Weeks?
really good.
14 weeks.
Yep. But again, we don't have a huge.
It's not a comprehensive.
It doesn't have.
It's not a
the
huge
architectural
project.
engineering,
Yeah, yeah.
plumbing.
We just want to make sure it doesn't get put on the bottom of the pile because it is smaller.
Yeah, but
Keep-
sometimes
keep
they're
nudging
easier to
us,
get
nudge.
through because
Crank
there's
out.
Fair
not-
enough.
Yeah.
The
Did-
MP piece.
That's
is
great.
extensive.
Did they already do, I know they were gonna do some stuff ahead of time, but they already do the audit of the roofs to make sure there's not asbestos or anything that they
Yeah,
said that
that's
they
been
were,
done.
and that was
Yeah.
all, it all came back
Yeah.
fine, okay. No unexpected.
And we
expenses.
were pretty confident on that,
I
because
thought that,
remember, the
right.
roofs were included in the prior project.
Right.
We just didn't get there.
Thank you.
That's a few more airheads.
Yes, it is. It's like about 4 to 6, depending if we go to air conditioning.
Conditioning. Fair enough. Thank you, Dr. Long. We appreciate that. So we'll move on to item D is informational material. There's no school June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. The audit committee meeting is June 21st at 5:30 PM. Last day of school and 8th grade graduation is June 22nd at 6 PM. The reorganizational and regular meeting on July 10th at 6:30 PM. And the NISBA Board of Education Leadership Event, July 28th and 29th. Please RSVP by June 30th.
Liz had sent out information to the board. If you haven't had a chance to look at that, do that when you can, and let her know if you plan to attend.
I'm pretty sure I did say I was going to attend, but I will use my free board certificate training, complimentary training certificate to attend.
Take that voucher.
From coming back on a district. Does anybody have any questions on that? Miscellaneous. As part of the agenda is used for suggestions of items for next month's agenda, meeting, or if anyone has anything to share. Nothing. Nothing.
Let's
No,
talk
it's
about
baseball just
baseball.
ended.
Just
ended.
baseball season, and for anybody who was able to get, I know Dr. Long was there, maybe Jen came by, I don't remember, but it's a great thing that the village does for our kids. There's so many of our kids involved. I know it's not a school function, but there's a lot of our kids there, a lot of teachers and parents and people involved, and Bill coached a team. It was great. They had the All-Star game
All-Star game was this past weekend.
this past weekend, and they played music for all the kids coming, it makes them feel really special. And I was talking to Mike, and he said, a lot of these kids wouldn't get a spot on a North Colony or a South Colony, but they play here and they have a great time, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you especially to Karen Long and Kelly Lemire for
Did a
putting
lot.
that together. And Charlie's involved now also.
So Charlie on the grill. Thank you for feeding my son who umpires. And there's a huge pre-K division. There's still a bunch of kids.
The T-ball,
T-ball.
yeah.
Not how exciting T-ball.
T-ball is so much fun. Even if you don't have a kid doing it, like just to go watch them play T-ball is hilarious. The ball goes, they all run for it, run into each other.
They just had basketball too, so it's the age.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Great, we'll move on to public content information. Please note during the public comment sessions, members of the community may address the board on agenda and non-agenda items. The board president may limit remarks of individual speakers to a reasonable time. Speakers must identify themselves on a topic on which they would like to make remarks. BOE comments@manans.org. BOE comments@manans.org.
We even want.
No one even logged in. No comments online. Does anybody have anything this evening? Nobody has anything. Thank you. That's the end of the meeting. We'll make a motion to adjourn, please.
So I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for attending the meeting this evening.